So again, what I want to get to now is if I would actually survey veterinarians and ask them, of all the cases you've seen, this is anecdotal, what percentage do you believe are environmental allergies rather than food allergies? And it got so silly or so ridiculous that I got the same answer everywhere I went, but I actually made a slide to use just anecdotally. But veterinarians guess right around 75% of the cases they see, that's your dog, are environmental and not food. So here's all these major food companies with all their board certified nutritionists, their chemists and all, and they're working on what allergens can we eliminate from your dog's diet to help their allergies, where 75% of the allergies are coming from the environment. Okay, so it was kind of funny when I first heard Hills was coming out with a diet for environmental allergies. I was like, okay, that doesn't even make sense, because I was thinking eliminate the allergen. Well, how do you eliminate the environment? You know, wrap the dog up in plastic or something, bubble wrap. But what they did was they realized, okay, we can eliminate the environment. We're going to have to deal with the dog's immune system, which is really the problem to begin with. So they put together an antioxidant package, including a substance called quercetin. It's kind of like a vitamin / amino acid component. You can look it up, but quercetin with a Q, it is actually very potent for normalizing the immune response. It's used by humans all the time. I actually, once I started talking about it, I found veterinarians or veterinarians' family members that were using it for migraine headaches, for allergies. So it's out there. And I know one of the videos I watched on home remedies for allergy dogs was talking about quercetin. So, of course, the question, if you're supplementing it yourself, is how much do I use that's effective, where Hills took this and formulated it into the diet so that you're getting the therapeutic levels. That's always important when it comes to supplements. I mean, you really never talk about pet food is unregulated, the supplement industry is really unregulated. So knowing that you've got chemists and nutritionists that have figured out how much quercetin should be in this diet, that to me is a big plus. I'm more into show me the numbers and the evidence rather than just, oh, that sounds good, throw that in. So the diet was called Derm Defense. Came from Hills. It was a prescription diet just for dogs. This was not for cats. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. But basically, it was the first diet dealing with environmental allergies. The weird thing was, and it's weird now, and I'm not the nutritionist, I'm just the messenger. They used intact chicken protein in the diet. So it wasn't hydrolyzed, it wasn't a novel ingredient, it was chicken, which all dogs get at some point or the other. So it was weird that we're feeding them intact protein over here that can elicit a response, and then we have an antioxidant package to suppress or normalize that allergic response. Kind of, it did work. It was a pretty effective diet, but again, it takes veterinarians and especially the specialists years to finally make that shift over, and that really wasn't happening real fast, to be honest. Most were just sticking with hydrolyzed prescriptionized ZD or Purina HA or Royal Canin, Ultimino, one of those. So that was the deal, and then the nutritionists, and they looked at this, and it was a few years later, and they realized, hey, you know what? We got to get rid of that chicken, because again, we're playing both sides here. We're giving them intact protein to elicit a response, and then we're treating it with a response. That doesn't make sense. So Derm Complete came out right before COVID. So figure out what year that was, 2020, I guess. It was the first diet to address both the food allergy component and the environmental allergy. Now, I'm not here to just sell Hills products, but the science is pretty darn cool. Okay, what they did, and this is ironic, this goes back to Dr. Mark Morris in 1965, going with egg and rice. Guess what the only intact protein in this new diet is? Just egg. What did we learn about egg? Well, they took egg and fed it to, I'm going to say it was around 90-something dogs that had confirmed food allergies. They knew they were allergic to foods, to proteins, and fed them egg. And it was like 97-point-something% no response to the egg. So they knew egg is actually pretty hypoallergenic. Here's Odin. They also have learned, which again is pretty cool to know, egg, if you don't know, is like the perfect protein source. It's even better than meat. So for all you meat lovers, you wolf cultists out there, egg even beats meat. So they used egg, and what they learned was it's actually a natural anti-inflammatory. Who knew? And how cool that Mark Morris, Senior, Dr. Mark Morris, chose egg back in 1965, not even knowing all those things. So that's how brilliant the guy was. But anyway, so here's Derm Complete with egg protein is the only intact protein to help eliminate those common allergens that come from all those different proteins. And then they also put that same antioxidant package with the quercetin that was in the Derm Defense. They put that in Derm Complete. So the name Derm Complete is actually pretty accurate. So I've been talking veterinary diets, the different approaches, the different companies and all of the experience I've had with these diets. I am totally convinced that they work. And it's pretty self-evident just to see it in the results. This new Derm Complete diet, relatively new, I love the idea of going after both the food component and the allergy or environment component. And I will tell you, one of the benefits, I mentioned Zuzu back in part 1, that she was my first itchy dog. And Zuzu is a part Maltese, part Bichon. I've never had either breed, and we kind of rescued her from a so-called breeder in Pueblo, Colorado, and she fit in my hand this big. And I was always a big dog guy, just, I don't know, for whatever reason, we always had burners and big dogs and stuff. And Zuzu's not down here, which is kind of surprising. Usually she follows me everywhere. But she and I, over the years, she's about 8 years old now, we really have become best buds. And I've had some wonderful, wonderful dogs in my life. There's just something about Zuzu that, man, and she's 8, and I don't even want to think about that time will end at some point. I could get emotional even thinking about it. But anyway, where am I going here with this? So what happened was she sleeps right on the bed with us. She's right up against me. If I'm sitting down, she's on my lap. Like I said, when I make these videos, it's the only time she's usually just laying on the floor out of sight. But anyway, she started scratching a lot, probably about a year old. And when you have a dog in the bed with you that's scratching through the night, you know that dog has a problem. And that's when I did try the ZD and the elimination trial, and we're just going to feed her ZD and nothing else. I had told people about that for years, trained veterinarians on it for years, and I went all out because we were going to solve this problem. And sure enough, after 3 weeks, I realized she was getting all kinds of other food, and this was silly, so we stopped. So when Derm Complete came out, actually it was Derm Defense and then Derm Complete, but the fact that it has an antioxidant package to deal with the immune system, I knew, hey, maybe that would work even if I cheat, even if she does get other food. And that is one of the benefits of Derm Complete now. Derm Defense is gone. Derm Complete with the egg and the antioxidant package. The neat thing is, it's okay if she gets into the cat food. It's okay if she gets a milk bone once in a while. I mean, there's a limit. There's a threshold there somewhere for each individual animal, but it's not nothing but water and this food, or else, you know, it's all done. And sure enough, Zuzu is probably the easiest case for a veterinarian to handle. If she gets itchy in the year, it's going to be around April when everything starts blossoming. I put her on Derm Complete. She goes through that blossoming season into the summer, and then she can go back on her regular food, and she's fine. So she's a very mild case. Her skin never gets red and inflamed. She just starts scratching a lot. So probably the easiest example out there for sure. But Derm Complete, I've seen, again, the skin cycle takes about 4 weeks to go through. And when I was still a rep and still actively in the clinics, we had patients all over the country, actually, that within like 6 weeks, you could see a visible difference in the quality of the skin. The hair was growing back, and it was pretty cool. And again, you know, a few of them were so severe that euthanasia was even being discussed because nothing works. And really, the way you measure success, at least I did as a diet rep with veterinarians, was, do you need the Cytopoint? Do you need the Apoquil? And when Derm Complete came out, that was what we did. We ran around to everybody, every client that had a dog on Apoquil, which is the pills, or Cytopoint, which is that shot that you get every 6 weeks or so. And great products. I don't want to bash them. I don't really know the science behind them. I know there's certain risks, but I don't even want to get into that. That would be an uneducated opinion on my point. But it was really great when the dog could come off those drugs because the diet finally was working. That their immune system had normalized and they didn't need that drug, okay? One doctor and I, we looked at the cost per day on average for a 40-pound dog on Cytopoint, that's those shots. And I would do the shot because I am not pilling my dog every day. I'm just terrible at doing it. My wife was a vet tech, she doesn't want to do it anymore. So the shot would be the way to go for me. And that was over $3 a day for a 40-pound dog. And that was a couple of years ago. That was before COVID, so I don't even know now where it's at. The Apoquil, the one pill every day, that was just over $2 a day. Again, this is for a 40-pound dog. So I know when you look at the cost of some of these therapeutic diets, you think, I can't afford this, this is too much. I will tell you, if the diet works and does what it's supposed to do, you don't need that other stuff. That's how you gauge success. So I'm kind of putting on my Hills hat now, getting back into my rep position here, but again, yeah, hopefully you could tell I'm passionate enough because I've seen what these diets can do. So if your approach is home remedies and it works for you, hey, God bless you, great, keep doing it. Quercetin, I mentioned that in the one video. Maybe people are supplementing with that and the amount they're giving is working, awesome. But if you want to simplify your life and try to get your dog off those drugs, I would say do 6, 8, 10 weeks on Derm Complete and see what happens. And go to, I mean, this is about as unscientific as you could get, but go to Chewy and look at the reviews on the product, because I did that once with our urinary diet, and I was actually pretty proud to see that there were hundreds of people saying how awesome that diet was for their cat. So I never thought of that, but it's a great way to just see what's going on. But I can tell you veterinarians really do like Derm Complete. So enough on Derm Complete. Hopefully there's some people out there that you're thinking right now, hey, maybe I want to give that a shot. I hope you will. I am not getting sponsored by Hills or any other food company. I'm just sharing you what I know, what I've seen work in the clinic. So I hope that helps somebody out there. Have a great evening or morning whenever you watch this video, and please, if you have any comments, share them with me. I would appreciate it. Take care.